Okay, today I want to talk about definition and 8 stages of human development. First, you want to talk about definition of human development, so which means scientific study of change and stability of the person throughout the human lifespan. This is the definition of human development. We can see changes and stability of the person throughout the human lifespan. Changes in terms of physical or stability in terms of physical, or change and stability in terms of cognitive or in terms of psychosocial dimensions. Overall, the human development studies the person's human behavior in 3 different dimensions, that is physical, cognitive and psychosocial dimensions. What is physiological dimension? So which studies the person's physical aspect like eye, brain, heart, the structure of any organs of the persons. Second one is cognition. Cognition in terms of, so which are the process or abilities that process through our brain. All aspect we called as a cognitions. For example, memory, decision making, creativity, thinking, learning, critical thinking, creative thinking, etc. etc. Psychosocial dimension or domain is the person's emotions, the person's personality, person's that interpersonal relationship. So these are the example for psychosocial dimensions. The human lifespan that deals the person's behavior in terms of these 3 angles. So scientific study of change and stability of the persons throughout the human lifespan, this is the example for or definition for human development. And second point, 8 stages of human development. We can see 8 different stages in human lifespan. The first one is prenatal stage. Prenatal stage is nothing but pre-birth stage. So we start from the conception to birth. So this is actually the duration, or approximately 9 months of duration before birth. That particular duration we called as a prenatal development or prenatal stage. In this stage, a single zygote, so that becomes a shape of human. Okay, so we can see the rapid changes in physical dimensions, especially in the prenatal stage. Second one is infancy. Infancy, the first 2 years of life after birth, so that duration we call as a infancy. In the infancy stage, after birth, the babies react with any action, any stimuli with the inborn responses, what we called as a reflexes. Moro reflex, Babinski, swimming. So these are the best example for the reflexes, so which occurs the first 2 years of life. And also we can see a lot of rapid changes in a fine and gross motor skills. The babies first they use the gross motor skills and they use the fine motor skills. We can see the transparency in the later stage. And third one is early childhood stage. Early childhood stage, which means we start from the 2 years to 6 years. The duration 2 to 6 years, that is early childhood stage. Early childhood stage, this stage is called very active stage. The child, it shows the rapid changes in the physical, cognitive and fine and gross motor activities. Through the gross and finer motor activities, we can see a major changes or rapid changes in the physical. So this is actually the platform for rapid changes in their biological aspect. And fourth one, late childhood. This is the fourth stage, which starts from 6 years to 11 or 12 years. So this is actually the formal schooling stage. So we can see languages, from gestures to language, vocabulary, first word, first sentence, syntax in a sentence. So these are the things we can see in this stage. And next one, the fifth stage is adolescent stage, and also we called as the end of the childhood. Especially in this stage, both male and female, boys and girls, boys and girls body begins to release the sex hormones, either estrogen or androgen. The moment when the body releases the sex hormone, that is called the beginning of adolescent or puberty or end of childhood. So after this major development, we can see a lot of changes in physiological aspect as well as the cognitive and the emotions. And next one, sixth one is early adulthood stage. The duration of early childhood is 20 to 40 years of life. In this stage, we can see a peak moment, a peak stage in terms of all three dimensions, like physical, cognitive as well as the psychosocial dimensions. So they are very strong in physically, they are very strong in their muscles, stamina, so as well as the bones, density. So everything is in a peak moment or peak level, especially in the early adulthood stage. And next one is, seventh one is middle adulthood stage. So the duration between 40 to 65 years. So this is a slight decline stage in terms of both or three dimensions, like physical, cognitive as well as the psychosocial dimensions. So physical ability begins to decline. Cognitive abilities like memory, learning ability, reaction time begins to decline, as well as their emotions and their interaction with other persons, information processing begins to decline in between 40 to 60 years of life, and also we called as a slightly decline stage of human life. So that is middle adulthood. And last one, late adulthood stage, or we can say old age stage. So that is eighth one. The duration of the late adulthood stage is above 65 years till death. So this is the stage the persons who remembers all the positive and negative acknowledgement memories, like the different stages he passes through. What are the good things which happens in their life? What are the negative things which happens in their life? So this is the time to recall all a bunch of memories, whether it is positive or negative. So that is late adulthood stage, because they are very free to recall everything. So a few people, they begins to write their autobiography, or somebody's autobiography, especially after 60 years of life, because they are very free, because this is time to so they are not much physically active. Due to the several reasons, they are very free to write and recall such memories which happens in entire life. So this is late adulthood stage. And in next session we'll talk each stages in details. Thank you.